Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm glad that you all could join me again. My name is Shavi Zane. Welcome to everybody that's joining in this discussion today. As the title states, this is all about becoming the I am to the co creator of your life. Becoming the I am to becoming the co creator of your life. So, what do I mean by that? I'm going to get right into it. I will be pulling some cards to help you to see exactly where you are in terms of the I am and what blockages you might have that could be preventing you from becoming the co creator. So, first, I want to start off by discussing with you what do I mean by becoming the I am. Becoming the I am is all about who you identify yourself with. Who are you? If I was to ask you right now, who are you? Maybe some of you will say, I'm a nurse, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I'm an electrician, I'm a brother, I'm a son. You might identify with something from the surface. If I asked you to go deeper, who are you? Some of you might say, well, I'm a loving person, I'm caring, I'm kind, I'm empathetic. Then if I asked you to go deeper, who are you? You might end up stuck right there. Some of you, on the other end of that, if I asked you who you were on a deeper scale, you might say, I'm a bad husband. I'm a bad father. I'm a bad mother. You might identify yourself from a negative perspective. And then there are those of you who identify with yourself on the surface to other people. If someone was to ask you who you are, you identify with the positives of yourself, but internally, you're beating yourself up. And you are internally identifying yourself with pain, shame, guilt, bitterness, traumas, past traumas, those types of things. So I want to dig deep into the subconscious and see where you stand right now, see where the blockages are, and see how I can help you to shift from becoming the I am, becoming the greatest version of yourself in your divinity, to becoming the co-creator of those things that exist within you. This is a process. This is not something that happens overnight. You have to actively put forth the effort to heal yourself and to lift yourself up out of any dark space that you might have been suppressed in order to become your higher self, in order to become that which you want to create, as within, so without. So becoming the co-creator is all about, once you become the I am, all of those things that you are organically created to be. Not what conditioning told you, not what society told you, not what your family told you, not what your circumstances told you, not what your external circumstances tells you, but who you are at your core, from the very seed that was planted within you before it got tampered with, messed with, polluted. Who you are at your core, up underneath all of the mess. That person, I am, becomes the creator. I co-create that which I am. I am. Let me give you an example. I am a divine being. I am a daughter of the Most High. I create divine outcomes. I create divine platforms. I create divine structures. I create divine partnerships. I create divine friendships because I am a divine being. And I'm able to say that with conviction. I'm able to say that knowing that it is the truth of who I am. Not just saying it because it sounds good or it looks good to the surface or to those who hear it, but because I know this to be true about myself. And the only way that you can come into a space of knowing, not believing, not hoping, but knowing, is once you do the work to heal, to become that which you were always destined to be. So that means that you're going to have to decondition. You're going to have to relearn. You're going to have to educate yourself. You're going to have to purge. You're going to have to release. There's a process to this thing. but you possess everything within you in order to create the I am and to become the co-creator of your life. So I want to get into it. I want to see, we're going to cater this and fashion this around your particular circumstance. And if you want to go deeper, you can always email me for a private session, and I'll be able to get deeper with you as to in regards to this subject matter or anything else that you want to talk about. I'll leave my email in the description box below. And please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you find that my messages resonate with you. I would love to see you all back here again. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Right now we're discussing the I am. Who do you identify yourself with on a subconscious level? Not on the surface, not what looks good or what you desire for other people to see. Who are you identifying yourself with on a deeper level? Okay. Lacks intuitive connections. That's what that says. Lacks intuitive connections. So you identify with yourself right now as, I am not intuitive. I do not possess the ability to tap in to my higher self, or to tap in and to understand things from a higher level of consciousness. There's something about you feeling as if there's a disconnect with your higher self and your more conscious mind. So this would definitely be dealing with your third eye chakra, your intuition, your ability to discern, your ability to see things outside of the matrix, outside of the 3D, but from a higher level of consciousness. There's some part of you that says, I am lacking the ability to have intuitive connections, or lacking the ability to unlock my natural gifts, because that is a natural gift that everyone possesses on different degrees and in different ways. It looks different, the way that it is the way that it's presented to the world. It looks different for everyone. Okay, so let's see what else is coming out in terms of how you identify on a more subconscious level, and then we're going to work through this. Okay, so when I see this card, this is all about the sacral chakra. Okay, and this is speaking on urinary or kidney infections, abnormal menstruation. So this can deal with you identifying, if you don't have these particular symptoms, then this could also be with you identifying with not being able to tap into your creative nature, your natural gifts. And so that would be directly in alignment with lacking intuitive connections, that intuitive ability to see things from a higher level of consciousness. The sacral chakra deals with your ability to create. So we're already talking about becoming the I am to becoming the co-creator of your life. And so there's a blockage here. And if you have abnormal menstruation, that could be dealing with hormonal issues, okay? And so your urinary or kidney infections, that could be dealing with your body not being able to detoxify things out of your system, and it gets blocked up in there and causes infections. And so you might be identifying yourself on a subconscious level with not being able to create a balance within yourself on a more physical level, okay? But I feel like even deeper than that is something in regards to you not being able to create a balance when it comes to your natural gifts, your abilities to use what you have naturally to create wealth for yourself, or to create just to naturally create those things from a space of passion. You might find yourself doing work that is not directly aligned with your divine self. You might get up and clock into a job that you hate every day because you feel that you do not possess gifts within you, but we all do. So let's see what else is coming out. You have here another one for the sacral chakra. This is recommendations: carrots, oranges, coconuts, meditating on the color orange. But what we're more focused on is the fact that the sacral chakra has come out twice. And again, the sacral chakra deals with your ability to create, your ability to harness in on those gifts and use them as a way of presenting your passion to the world and actually creating wealth and abundance with those gifts. So the sacral chakra, your ability to create is blocked because your sacral chakra is blocked. So I am, you might identify and you might say subconsciously, I am not gifted. I am not a person that possesses natural gifts. You see what I'm saying? And so there's a need to shift. Here's another one. Here's another one for the sacral chakra, y'all. Shame or guilt. Shame or guilt. So I am guilty of my past. I am shameful of my past. And while you might not say this out loud, you might not even see it with your own eyes on the surface, there's some things. Life is actually there. Life is always a direct mirror, a direct reflection of those things that we are not able to see on a subconscious level. And so your external circumstances will be a direct reflection of those things that you still suppress within. And it's a reflection because life, you know, the Most High creates scenarios so that you will be able to see. All right, now, are you paying attention? Do you see how miserable you are in this relationship? Do you see how miserable you are getting up and going to this job every day? Do you see how miserable you are maintaining these false friendships or these partnerships? This is where the blockage is at. There's something about you embracing, I am not gifted. I am not a creator. So let me pull a couple of more cards from this deck because I can't believe it's been already 12 minutes. Okay. So let's see here. We'll pull two more from here. Okay. Disconnect from nature and being able to see that all is interwoven. So this would also be dealing with your spiritual eyes. Okay. That's 2 for your spiritual eyes and 3 for your sacral chakra. And so if there is a disconnect from nature, then there is a disconnect from self. So you might be saying, I am not the type of person that goes outdoors. I am not the type of person that's able to be in the sunlight for long periods of time. I am not the type of person that likes bugs. I am not the type of person that likes to go out, you know, and to plant my feet into the grass. There is a disconnect from nature that you're having right now. And when you have a disconnect from nature, when you get out into nature, nature is the perfect example of how creative the Most High is. And as you know, if you are into biblical texts, the Most High, one of the first things that was spoken in biblical text is, let us create man in our own image. Let us create man in our own likeness, in our own image. Image is a derivative of the word imagination. If you can imagine it, and if you can see it in your mind's eye, then you can create it. And this is what I'm talking about, becoming the I am to becoming the co-creator. And so going out into nature, you're able to see how creative the Most High is. No two things are exactly alike. And we're talking about out of the trillions, the infinite possibilities. There is no cap on it. The infinite possibilities of the things that exist around you, from what you see right here on Mother Earth all the way up into what you see into the cosmos as far as your eyes can see. No two things are the same. They are all uniquely created. And so because you were crafted specifically in the image of the Most High, whose imagination is infinite, because nature shows you that, nature is proof of that, you are proof of that, because there's no duplicate, there's no replica of you. Therefore, the gifts that you possess within you, there is no one that can duplicate those gifts. It might look the same, that's just like having a chair. It might look the same, but there's always something about it that's a little different. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's gift is different and unique in its own special way. You possess it, but there's something about something that you've gone through in your past that has caused you to block out your creative gifts. Now, when the sacral chakra comes out this much, for some people, this may not be for everyone, but for some people, you may have dealt with sexual trauma, some sort of sexual abuse. This could have been in your childhood, or it could have also been in your adulthood. Maybe someone shamed you or made you feel guilty about sex, or anything, because sex deals with creation. The initial Sex is about pleasure, sure enough, but it's also about creating, co-creating, okay, producing something. And so, on a deeper scale, the sacral chakra, which is around the reproductive organs, is also, if it becomes blocked from a trauma or something that you have been through, then or something traumatic that you might have gone through, then your abilities to tap into your natural gifts will also be blocked, and you'll be in an energy of insecurity as well. So your subconscious mind might be saying, I am insecure. And you might be displaying that externally in some way, shape, fashion, or form. It can be through jealousy. It can be through codependencies, because the sacral chakra will cause you to be in an energy of having codependencies. Dependencies on alcohol, dependencies on work, dependencies on people. You see what I'm saying? Dependencies on sex. You can be overly sexual, dependent on pornography, anything that will stimulate you and that will give you that pleasure that you are naturally supposed to be able to tap into whenever you're able to harness your gifts and present them to the world. That brings much pleasure when your sacral chakra is balanced. Then you understand what your gift is, and you put that passion into your gifts. You don't put it into a codependency or a person or some method of external pleasure. You put that passion into your gifts, and that's how you develop them. That's how you perfect them. And so there's some blockages here. The way that you identify yourself right now is blocking your ability to actually become the co-creator of your life. And this is why you find that your external circumstances, you might feel like you don't have a lot of control over how things turn out. You feel like you might be very codependent on a specific career path or a specific job, even though your soul is crying out to you saying, I hate it here. This is not where I'm supposed to be. But then there's that other part in your mind that says, well, there's nothing else that you can do because you have no gifts. What are you supposed to do? And that's where the blockage comes in at. So let's see what else is coming out. I'm going to pull one more from this deck, and then we're going to move on and see what else the message is for you all tonight, so that I can help to guide you out of this this position. Okay, we have two cards that came out. So we have here experiencing sleep insomnia. This is dealing with the melatonin production that comes from the pineal gland, which regulates your sleep cycles and your circadian rhythm. This will be dealing with your third eye chakra. Some people like to call it the first eye. You have that card coming out 3 times in regards to that particular chakra. So not being able to get rest at night is actually reducing your production of melatonin. And your melatonin is a gland that actually deals with your hormones, your circadian rhythms, your ability to be in alignment with the cycles of life. So awakening when the sun comes up, or at least at a decent hour when the sun comes up, and going to bed at a decent hour when the sun goes down. If your circadian rhythms are off and you're not sleeping well at night, then it throws many other things off with it. Okay, it's not just exclusive to you losing rest. It's actually throwing you off with the cycles and being in tune with those things that exist outside of you. Okay, and so you also have here the heart chakra. Feel your feelings. There's something about you not allowing yourself to feel your feelings, not allowing yourself to go within and feel those emotions. And so I feel that if you're dealing with any shame or guilt, if you say, well, I don't feel guilty, I don't feel shameful about anything, it could largely be because you have blocked it out, and you have chosen to suppress it so much so that you have found other measures external to you to keep your mind busy to the degree where you don't have to think about it, you don't have to face it, you don't have to feel it. And so that would be dealing with the heart chakra. And anytime your heart chakra is blocked, it's going to block out your ability to do things from a space of love, and to do things that actually allow you to be in a space of self-love and being able to also express love. And when you express your gifts from a space of passion and love, that's how you become the co-creator, and you are able to manifest abundance, longevity, stability, good, beautiful partnerships, friendships, all of these things. You're able to create a solid foundation for yourself in the physical realm, because within you love yourself. within, you're coming from a space of passion and love. And so I feel that for some of you, yeah, you find yourself very caught up in the external things in life and external forms of pleasure because you're not able to actually create that within yourself. So there's a blockage there. So let me see. I'm going to pull from another deck. So this says detach. Oh my goodness, y'all. Come on now. Y'all watching me pull the cards. Detach from that external method of pleasure. It's overstimulating you. Blocked sacral chakra. Okay? All right? Now, y'all might not be able to read backwards. Detach from that external measure of pleasure. It is overstimulating you. That's what that says. So that's what I was just talking about. The sacral chakra is largely blocked. It's blocking your creative nature because there's something that you are addicted to. And you might not call it an addiction, but if it's something that you have to do in order to feel any measure of pleasure, and you have to do it on a regular basis, habitually, then you do have an attachment or a codependency to it. This does not have to be a drug. This does not have to be alcohol. This can be people. This can be you having a codependency on relationships, even when they are toxic relationships, because there's a part of you that just needs the stimulation, even if it's negative stimulation. Is something that gets your passion going, even if it's negative passion. This could be you having a codependency on a job that you hate, having a codependency on, again, sex. You know, you can have a codependency on feeling sex, being able to have that orgasm, because in that moment you feel that you're able to create pleasure for yourself. So you might overdo it. Overdoing it can cause overstimulation, and it blocks your sacral chakra. Okay, so detach. It's very important to detach. And what I wanted to say also, when the heart chakra came out in terms of feel your feelings, you might be that type of person that says to yourself, because we're talking about I am. What are you identifying yourself with on a subconscious level? I am not the type of person that's very emotional. I am not a very affectionate person. I am not the lovey-dovey type of person. That's how you might identify yourself, whether it's outright to other people or subconsciously within yourself, because there's a part of you that does not allow yourself to feel your feelings. And by not feeling your feelings, if you are numbing yourself out by an external means of pleasure, then you will naturally not feel your feelings anyway. Okay, especially if, let's just say, alcohol. This does not have to be your circumstance, but alcohol numbs you out. Even if you find yourself crying and boohooing in that moment of drinking alcohol, by the time you sober up, it will not have done much in terms of allowing you to release, because what happens when you sober up? You go into that space of shame and guilt, because now you're looking at yourself like, okay, well, I ended up in a position where I released all of my emotions, but I didn't mean to, show this to XYZ, to this person or that person. I didn't mean for them to hear or to see me in such a vulnerable state. Or I didn't mean to get so overly inebriated that this person was able to see where my deficits are. And then now you are harboring shame and guilt all over again. And so that's just an example of how external forms of pleasure or external measures of numbing yourself out, it ultimately does not work in your favor. It works against you, and it decreases your it decreases your vibrations. Okay, it lowers your vibrations, and anytime you are operating from a lower vibrational state, you're not able to create, because creation starts from a higher level of consciousness. You have to be able to tap in on a spiritual level in order to create, because creation begins in the spiritual level and it trickles down and manifests, it densifies into your physical circumstances. As within, so without. As above, so below. The above is dealing with that higher level of consciousness, creating from that space. So below would be dealing with what's happening in your 3D, in your physical structure. So you have to be able to create from a higher level of consciousness in order to be able to create in the external environment. And so this is where your blockages is at. Too many of your I ams deals with shame and guilt. to many of your I ams on a subconscious level or external to how you actually speak about yourself. It's dealing with shame and guilt, and it's dealing with some sort of method of codependency that you have attached yourself to in order to prevent you from having to feel and to address those things that you might have held on to. And it's throwing you off in multiple ways, okay? So now, let me see. I'm going to pull a couple of more from this deck, and I'm going to move on to another deck. I want to give you some advice on how you can pull yourself up out of this, okay? Hopefully the advice that I've been giving you thus far, that the information that I'm giving you thus far is actually going to help you to see some things more clearly as well. So it says, it's time to stand up for yourself and establish those boundaries. I was already speaking on codependencies of toxic relationships. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. That's dealing with the solar plexus, which is right above the sacral chakra. Anytime your lower chakras are blocked, like your root chakra or your sacral chakra, it's going to directly affect every other chakra that exists above it. There's 7 chakras. And so the sacral chakra is the one that's dominantly coming out in this discussion for you all. And so the solar plexus, which is right above it, around the gut area, deals with your ability to stand up for yourself. Okay, use that level of discernment to be able to say, this is not right, this does not feel right to my spirit, and it's now time for me to create a healthy boundary for myself so that I am able to move forward in my path or down my path from a level of peace. It's time to establish those healthy boundaries. What is your inner voice saying? I was just saying that. What does your gut tell you? The solar plexus is around the gut. Now the gut, people will say, I had this gut feeling. I had this gut feeling about a situation or about a person. Well, that's also directly attached to your spiritual eyes, your first eyes, being able to see things and being able to use your intuition. Those two things are connected. But if you're not able to use a level of discernment to try a person by their spirit, then you might be easily convinced that this person is someone that is supposed to be in your life out of loyalty, out of sympathy for them, out of feeling sorry for them, out of feeling codependent on them. There's different factors that will block you from creating those healthy boundaries for yourself. But what is your inner voice telling you? Because I feel that for some of you, there's someone that you're already aware of that's in your space right now, or maybe even multiple people that's in your space right now, and you know that it's time for you to stand up and create healthy boundaries for yourself, and your inner voice has been telling you this. You might not have been able to put your finger on a specific circumstance, but I'm pretty sure that circumstances have presented themselves as well. But if you're not able to put your finger on a specific circumstance, then your inner voice is telling you that there's something off about this person. And if you're not able to discern people based on what they're projecting spiritually, again, it's because you have blocked out your vision on a spiritual level. You're seeing things with your natural eyes, and you're not seeing it from a higher level of consciousness. And so there's work to be done. It says it'll be a short process with the current energy. Okay? So the process of you going from I am and getting out of this energy, I feel that it's as simple, and I don't want to say it's simple, but with this saying it'll be a short process with the current energy, I feel like it's literally you disconnecting yourself from the codependency, disconnecting yourself from that thing that you are habitually going back to, and also establishing healthy boundaries with those people that you know are bringing a toxic energy into your life. These could be people that are actually further perpetuating the codependency or further pushing the codependency. Like, let's just say, for instance, if you're a weed smoker, you might have friends around you that constantly feel, that push this on you. Okay, or that constantly try to encourage this. You might need to establish healthy boundaries with these people while you release and detoxify yourself from that codependency, because it's going to take detoxifying yourself. Okay, and it's going to take for you to at least put in an effort of at least 30 days, because anytime you can go without something for 30 days, you have officially broken a habit. Okay, but on a deeper scale, this is not just about removing the substance or the person, whatever the codependency is. It goes deeper than that. You're still going to need to release the guilt and the shame that brought you there? What took place in your past that has you in this position where you feel the need to numb yourself, where you feel that you're not able to establish that energy of pleasure from within? But taking one step will lead you to taking another step. So whichever way you decide to do this, I strongly suggest doing what's necessary to establish those healthy boundaries so that you can actually release yourself from these things that have kept you bound. This says the Most High created you to build the structure of a royal empire. The Most High created you to build the structure of a royal empire. So what does that mean? The structure first begins within you. You are first the royal empire that the Most High has created you to build. Why? Because it got torn down, or it got built on a unstable structure by outside influences, by traumas, by other people's opinions, other people's influence on who they identified you with being versus who you was created to be. You create that royal structure within first, then you become a part of the collective, the greater whole, who creates the royal structure outside of yourself, bringing balance back to humanity because you have first brought balance within you. Okay? We have to understand how powerful we are as divine beings. We serve a very vital role in humanity, in the entire planet. Everything benefits when you heal. Everything benefits when you are able to harness in on your gifts and become a co-creator of your life. Everything and everyone benefits from that, okay? And so you have to start within you, creating that structure from within you. So this can be a short process. And just know that you have the ability to prolong the process, or you can actually see here, you can make this a shorter process than you really think by releasing. And I'll give you some advice on how you can release a codependency, because I'll say myself, I used to be a weed smoker, okay? We can be transparent here because this is not about judgment. This is about being open and honest. I was a weed smoker for many years, and it was something that, I thought, well, I'm not addicted to it. I just enjoy it, But I came to a point where it was like, okay, well, without it, I'm going to start to get a little bit agitated after a day or two, because this is my form of pleasure. This is my form of relaxing. This is my form of being able to find peace, or being able to tap into my higher level of consciousness. I'm able to see things from a different perspective, but that was me being codependent on a substance external to myself in order to be able to tap in or to draw into those things that I naturally possess within me, or to be able to create peace or a form of relaxation or pleasure when I naturally possess the ability to tap in to releasing that dopamine within me. It's my body. So if I say I want to create an experience that's pleasurable and I want to release the dopamine from my own body, then I should be able to do that, right? Because I possess the ability to do that. But when you give a substance external to yourself permission, what you own owns you. So if that substance is the only way that you can produce pleasure, then you are saying that that substance is your direct means of being happy. And so what I had to do was that I literally had to do things like fasting. Fasting actually disciplines you to release yourself from codependencies on things, whether it's overeating, whether it's sex, whether it's, you can fast from anything. But for me, the method that worked best for me was ingesting a lot more green smoothies, taking in Mother Earth, taking in the sun, drinking a lot of water, doing actual smoothie and water fast for like 7 days. I actually did one for 40 days. You can do it for 3 days. Or you might just say, okay, one thing that I did in order to wean myself off from the marijuana habit was I began smoking natural herbs, okay, like mugwort or sage. And these types of herbs actually, it was actually helping to balance me out internally, because I was taking in natural herbs, but also it was releasing me. It was slowly pulling me away from the desire to have something that was actually going to really shift, the way that I felt internally, because of all of the chemicals that was being put into my body in order to create this illusion that I was at peace, this illusion that I was feeling pleasure. But obviously that's not the truth, because when you see yourself in your sober state If you're not able to be at peace, and if you're not able to find that pleasure, then you know that that method of what you've been using is only creating an illusion for you to make you believe that you are happy, to make you believe that you feel good, when in fact, sober, you see yourself fully for how you truly are and how you truly feel when you operate in life. And so, needless to say, I was able to overcome that habit, okay? And it actually helped me to harness in further on my natural creative gifts. And it actually helped me with my ability to be more secure with myself, because that's one thing. When your sacral chakra is blocked, you have a lot of insecurity about yourself. And so releasing that actually allowed me to feel more secure with myself, and to also, like I said, harness in on my gifts. So let me see what else is coming out for you all. Maturity, growth, okay? This is all about growth. This is about seeing yourself for who you are today, not about who you was yesterday, not about who you, you can definitely look at yourself for who you desire to become, seeing yourself for who you desire to become from a higher level of consciousness, but not focusing in on who you used to be, maturing into the person that you are developing to become, okay? So you have maturity here. You have here the outsider. So this card is all about feeling as if you're outside of a situation. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like you're blocked from moving forward. You feel like you haven't grown enough to understand how to unlock this this chain here. But if you look closely, the chain, the latch is already open. So this child here would only have to remove the lock from there and release the chain. But because he is not matured in his understanding on how to release himself and to get to the other side, that's the only blockage that's there. And that's why we have here, it'll be a short process with the current energy, because you are maturing. You are maturing. And I feel that if you implement these measures that I'm suggesting to you today, as well as those things that intuitively you are being guided to do, you are going to be operating from a level of maturity, and it's going to give you the answers that you need in order to unlock this gate and to take you over to the other side of your path. But right now, the stagnation and the blockage of you becoming the co-creator of your life is literally a level up. It's literally you seeing things for what it is, you seeing yourself for who you have matured to become, you going within, okay, placing that mirror on the inside of yourself first, because this ain't about externally. Placing that mirror on the inside of yourself first, seeing it, releasing it, acknowledging it, feeling your feelings, okay, and then taking the measures to grow, taking the measures to allow yourself to naturally grow into this this new flower that you are becoming, okay? Now, what else did I want to say? So when we're talking about I am, I talked about the negatives of I am, okay? Let me see. I talked about the negatives of the I am that you might be subconsciously saying to yourself. Now I want to talk about the positives of the I am, because becoming the I am is actually saying to yourself and knowing. First, you get into a space of believing. You go from believing to knowing. You want to be in a space of knowing in order to become the co-creator of your life. Because what happens? Let me give you an example. A person that's an artist. A true artist will say, I am an artist. They're not believing it. They're not second guessing it. They're not hoping to become. They are saying, I am an artist, because they know that they possess a gift and a talent that they are boldly expressive. They will boldly express it to the world, right? So that person that knows that they are an artist will go and build the most beautiful portrait, okay? And they will gladly display it to the world because they know they have confidence in their gift. But the person that hopes to become an artist, or let's just say the person that's on the whole polarity of the scale, on the other end of the scale, I am not an artist. But you go and you create, you start doing, working on a piece of art. While you're working on that piece of art, first of all, you're not even confident in your craft. You're not confident that the work is going to turn out good, and so therefore you're not placing love and passion into the work, because in the back of your mind you're constantly thinking, I'm not even good at this. I don't even know if I'm going to want people to see this piece of art, because it's just, I'm not an artist. I'm not an artist. And so the finished product looks like what you have accepted or what you have identified with. I'm not an artist, and so therefore the work that you present to the world does not look like that of an artist. And so this picture is almost, it reminds me of a piece of artwork. Who do you say I am? Who do you say you are? Okay? I am beautiful. I am creative. I am courageous. I am gifted. I am confident in my gifts. I am. And when you know this about yourself to be true, what you express to the world looks totally different versus I am not, or versus I hope to be. So this is a process. Saying your affirmations regularly is going to really help you. Listening to affirmations to reprogram your mind at night while you're asleep is going to help you a lot. Writing down those things that you want to release and burning them. I release all guilt. I release shame. I release I release codependencies on external measures of pleasure. I release codependencies on people that are toxic in my life. Okay, I release any blockages that I have with my emotions or my ability to feel or to express love. Okay, I release any any fears that I have of being out amongst nature. I release release whatever's coming to you that you know is a blockage. Release those things and replace it. Okay, you want to fill that void. You create the void first, create the void space first. Then you want to pour back into yourself with those things that you desire to become. Because you're starting off, you're taking baby steps towards understanding how to unlock this gate. So the baby steps would be, I desire to become. So you start with, you still say I am, but just know that it's going to be a process of you getting from I hope to be to I know I am. You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to take for you to build yourself back up and to actually step out there and to do courageous things, to make courageous moves, okay? Because you didn't grow uniquely for no reason, okay? You are here with a unique purpose. And so you look totally different from others. Your divine path was different from others, and you had to go through a lot of rocky places, a lot of dark spaces in order to grow, in order to become this flower. But the great thing about this flower, even though it's not amongst soil, you might say, well, I don't look like everybody else. I'm not in a field amongst soil and, over there amongst the trees where all the other flowers are at. But the difference between you and those flowers is that when somebody walks past, they're going to take notice of you. And they're going to have an appreciation for you and all of those things that you had to grow through in order to become who you are today. And so be courageous. Step out there. Show the world the real you. So, like I was saying, writing down the I ams, first releasing those things that no longer serve you. Highly suggested that you use the information that I gave you here today, as well as those things intuitively that you need to release. Then taking the physical measures to release those things by fasting from those codependencies, or establishing healthy boundaries with those people that you don't need in your space right now because they're operating from a lower level energy, or they're just not going to help you to move towards your divine path or to raise in your level of consciousness. Okay, so creating healthy boundaries there and working yourself into the I know. Once you become into that space of I know, then you're able to say, I create. And you can confidently and boldly say, I create with my natural gifts. I create abundance from a space of love. I create friendships and loving partnerships from a space of knowing, being able to see with your first eye and not your natural eyes, because now you're confident in the fact that you can try a person by their spirit and discern who they are, even without them having to do much. You can pick up on it just like that because your gut, your inner knowing tells you so. Your first eye tells you so. And so that's how you become the co-creator of your life, by becoming first what it is that you was divinely guided to be, and knowing that you are that, then using that energy to create. Let us make man in our image. The Most High would not have been able to say that unless he knew first that he was that image. I am this, I am that I am what I imagine to create. So I am able to speak it into existence because I already know that this is who I am, and I already know that I am able to see it in my mind's eye in order to project it and to create it in the spiritual realm first, and then it becomes that in physical form. It densifies into the physical realm. You are now becoming the co-creator. Why? Because you are created in the image of the Most High, and being that he is the creator of all, then you possess the ability to create in your own right. You see what I'm saying? And so you do not want to lose sight of that. Let me see. I'm going to pull. There it is. Okay, this says, well, this is a lot of cards, but I'm going to just take them because I'm going to move on into the other deck to give you some advice, and I'm going to close out. Participation. You see that? Participating in the process as a co-creator of your life. You were already created, like I said, by the Most High. Now you're participating in the process of becoming a co-creator. And with the number 4 down there, that's all about building foundations, stability. Okay, but first you have to come out of the wall that you have created around yourself, that inauthentic wall that you have created around yourself, and allow yourself to feel. You saw the card that says, feel your feelings. You haven't been allowing yourself to feel your feelings. And so now you're going to have to go through some releasing. It's time to allow yourself to purge. If you have to cry, then cry, but do it from a space of sobriety. Do it from a space of authenticity so that you can actually feel your feelings and know what you're releasing, why you're releasing it, and why you don't want to never have to go back to that. So this structure, this inauthentic wall that you have built around yourself is coming down. And so now is the time, in this energy, because that says isolation, in this energy of being in isolation. So you might not be around a lot of people, or you may need to establish those healthy boundaries so that you can give yourself that time and space to heal. In that time of isolation, it's time for you to feel your feelings and to allow yourself the ability to see those things that you were once blinded to. Because as you can see, the ice first melted from the eyes, and then the nose, and then the mouth, to be able to see those things that you was blinded to, so that you can then speak into existence those things that you desire to replace it with. So then you have here beyond illusion. Seeing beyond the illusion. I was just talking to you all about that earlier. The illusion. The illusion is that this particular codependency creates a measure of pleasure or stimulation within me to make me believe that I am happy, to make me believe that I am at peace, to make me believe that I am passionate about this thing, when in fact, in sobriety, or when you're not attached to the codependency, you're able to see beyond the illusion that it's not real. It was an illusion that was created for yourself when you was behind this wall, because behind this wall it was very uncomfortable. And you was not able to see. How can you see through that wall? How can you see clearly when you created such a thick wall, or such a thick barrier for yourself, because you have not allowed yourself to feel for so long? So you was able to create an illusion, but now it's time for you to close your physical eyes, because this ain't about seeing it from your physical, from your natural eyes. It's about seeing it from a higher level of consciousness, from your spiritual eyes, to see beyond the illusion so that you are able to transform, so that you are able to grow. The butterfly deals with transformation. And so this is the process that you're going through. Becoming the I am, to becoming the co-creator. Okay? So let me give you some advice, and then I'm going to go ahead and close out. I appreciate everybody that stuck with me throughout this entire reading, and I really hope that this has been able to bring some light to your circumstances and really help you to grow moving forward. Suffering in silence. Okay, so you feel like you're very far away from your goals. You feel like no one will really understand you, and so you hold a lot of things back. You've been suffering in silence about wanting to move forward, wanting to go towards your happiness, wanting to go towards the sunlight, but you feel like it's so far away, and you feel like it's so out of reach. But like it said, right here. It'll be a short process with the current energy if you are able to take these things based on this message that came through me, as I am a vessel, to bring this message to you to help you to see beyond the illusion so that you can speak your truth. Look at what's at the bottom of the deck. Shadow, facing that dark side, shining light on the dark side, those things that you have suppressed, doing the work on yourself so that you can come out of this energy of silence, okay? And to move towards your happiness, move towards who you were divinely created to be from the very beginning, before the conditioning, okay? Before the outside identifiers was placed on you. Third eye chakra, that came out multiple times with my deck that I made myself. This is dealing with your spiritual eyes, opening up your spiritual eyes. So I told you, getting out into nature is very important for you right now. Crystals like amethyst is very good for helping you to see things from a spiritual perspective. And so let me see what else I have coming out here. I'm going to pull 2 more cards from this deck and I'm going to close out. Taking authority over your life. This is all about building that empire, because this is the emperor. This is the emperor. So I might be connecting with some masculines, but you don't have to be. You could be an Aries. You don't have to be. But this is all about taking back your authority. There's another number 4 there. So the number 4 deals with building that foundation and that structure, establishing healthy boundaries for yourself. You see how he got his arm crossed, like nobody's going to cross over this barrier. Nobody is going to get to me unless you are coming to me with an energy of integrity, and unless it's allowing me to remain in the space of being enlightened and growing in my understanding, because that halo around his head deals with being enlightened and seeing things from a higher level of consciousness. So definitely taking authority over your life, taking authority over your circumstances, and saying, I am ready to heal. I'm ready to release all of those codependencies or those things. Look at this. Taking your power back, stepping into your power with the number 8 right there. The number 8 is the infinity sign, and it deals with connecting spirit with the physical. And it's an infinite connection. It's an infinite, it has an infinite relationship. It's never ending. The spirit and physical. So you do not want to, you might have been operating disconnected from the spiritual aspect of yourself all of your life now. But now it's time for you to reconnect with that spiritual aspect of yourself so that you can grow. So take your power back. Become as bold as the lion. Become brave and courageous. Dig deep, because you've learned a lot of life lessons. With that gray hair there, you have learned a whole lot of life lessons, but you haven't been implementing them because a large part of you suppressed those life lessons and was living from a false sense of happiness. You was living from within an illusion. And so now it's time to break through the borders. And so what's at the bottom? Passion ignited. It's time to become passionate again about those things that you desire to do. And this is around the solar plexus. This is dealing with the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. Becoming passionate about the things that you do in life. Having a passionate new beginning. Getting that zeal and that spark back again for life. But it's coming from within you. Not from an external measure of pleasure. Not from something that you're codependent on or that you have to habitually go to. No, it's coming from within you. And that passion that is within you is being ignited, and it is actually being projected out into the universe. That's how you create. That's how you become the co-creator of your life. So that's the message that I have for the collective. I love y'all. I'm glad that you was able to join me. I hope to see you all again. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm growing this thing, and I need y'all support, especially when you find that my message resonates with you. So I will talk to you all next time.